This is Synra. This is the late briefing from Synra, aka The Line, and this would be different. I wanted to release, of course, 2 weeks ago. I know, it's been a long time. I told y'all that this episode of formerly Soul Tab, so let's talk about it, would be different. Now, the topics we will be covering tonight, not the same as the last episode. So let's get some quick jokes. This is the Flash Up, aka the Flashpoint. So let's do this story one. BET canceled the both Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards recently. Mind you, the Caribbean Awards was only last Friday as of this taping. But yeah, black award shows is out here disappearing faster than rappers' first week sales when he just came out of prison only 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago. Oh no, that joke was terrible. Well, who made this joke? I mean, more like when the baby mama money is up. I'm not even really. And all eyes on DC and Chicago and Memphis, but I'm gonna talk about DC, Chicago because the timeline you need to understand. This is America. They got tanks on the street and the National Guard walking around like it's Disney World. Like walking around like it's Disney World. Yeah, I hope that joke is good, y'all. At least the Disney World part. Like I hope it was good, but in this special one, the flag is supposed to be free. I went to a protest against something that made sense, and they're trying to put me in a RICO. What the hell, Yante? What the hell, Yante? What's going on? What, like, couldn't be me. No, actually could. Oh, allegedly. Okay, that joke. That I'm gonna be honest, y'all. That joke probably landed a certain way, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Both of those two jokes could have been better, but did they land good? I don't know. But now it's time for the dive. Welcome to the dive. I know this is different, kind of lighter, but it makes sense. So the Caribbean Awards was, let me get my notes. Let me get my dates here, y'all. Oh yeah, the 12th. So the 12th was the Caribbean Awards. And the BET Hip Hop and Soul Train Awards got canceled. I know it's been a minute, but usually during this early September, mid to late September window, they have one or the other. Yes, I could be talking about another big story that y'all all know about, but it happened on that Friday. Now, how this ties in, why they canceled those two award shows, let me read real quick. The 2025 BET Hip Hop Awards Soul Train Awards have been indefinitely suspended as confirmed by BET CEO Scott Mills, mind you, who is black, by the way. Finish reading. The primary reason cited for are declining viewership and a shift in audience consumption habits from traditional TV broadcasts. Nielsen data indicates a 30% drop in award show viewership since 2015. With the 2025 BET Awards experiencing a 50% ratings decline compared to the previous year, the BET Hip Hop Awards struggled to generate buzz in 2024. And the Soul Train Awards did not air at all that year. Mills noted that younger audiences are engaging with content on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, prompting BET to explore reimagined formats, potentially digital first events or BT Plus exclusives. Though no concrete plans have been announced, fans and critics have expressed concerns about the cultural impact, with some viewing the suspension as a sign of broader challenges maintaining black music's visibility on major platforms. Done reading. Okay, if I can find the article, y'all, I'll put it in the show notes. But let me read that again. Younger audiences are engaging with content on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, prompting BET. No, just stop right there. Just end quotes. Stop right there. All y'all had to do was make Kai Cenat and all of these rappers show up, and there we go. And actually move it to streaming, because last time I checked, the VMAs and the Emmys last night was on CBS Paramount Plus. VMAs, CBS, MTV, and Paramount Plus. That's all you have to do. Just do that across the board. But no. But I'm surprised they didn't say it was canceled last year or in 2024, because I don't think there was a Soul Train or hip hop. Well, it was a hip hop awards in 2024, but not a Soul Train awards, because they had freak niggas. They had the club vibes, like, you know, like they thought it was an award show. Like, at least when it came to, you know, the when it at least came to the hip hop awards, it was a whole club vibe. It felt like a telethon more like an award show. But one more quote as well, y'all. And this is about the BET Awards. According to Nielsen, televised award shows have seen a 30% drop in viewership since 2015. The 2025 BET Awards fell 50% in ratings compared to the previous year, and the BET Hip Hop Awards failed to trend in 2024. Wow. And the Soul Train Awards didn't even air that year. And let me get some more key bits I found as well. Let me keep reading. The BET Hip Hop Awards struggled to generate buzz in 2024, and the Soul Train Awards did not air all that year. Let me just, okay, done reading. But again, why was the 2024 Hip Hop Awards in a club instead of arena? Like in Atlanta, State Farm Arena, Mercedes-Benz, NRG, hell, back to the West Coast where they last time did it, I think it's 2022, 2023 at the Peacock Center. Well, Peacock, formerly the Microsoft Center, I'm gonna just say at this point, or whatever it's called at this point, near Crypto.com Arena. But it was not an award show. It's like a whole VIP section with like the camera crew. Come on, like what are we doing? It was for the memes and shit, because it was like, let's be for real. Like, let's just be for real, y'all. It was not back then. It was a whole telethon pretending like, yeah, this is an award show. Like, it was not an award show. Calm down with that. That was not, y'all, that was not on the dead grass. That was not in award show in 24. It was a telethon pretending to be one. I seen that for 2 hours. Wasted my time. A damn shame. Okay. Crazy. Okay. I mean, it was. Also, y'all, I hope the joke actually landed. Cause yeah, that joke had to land, cause yeah, just Now, I think I really want to get into the fact that BET is owned by Paramount Skydance now. And at the time in 2024, it was just owned by Paramount Viacom. Now, when you have paid and bought companies, as in this network, just now wants to make good content on streaming, not just whenever Tyler Perry decides to give only on BET good content, like a Oval and Sisters, like shows like that. Now, that network is still not technically owned by us. This is the same thing we're on. We know this. Their parent company, Paramount Skydance, that's their company. I mean, when this first happened in June or July, now here in September, where the events really would have happened if they never canceled it, is it really dead weight? I mean, it really could. I mean, it could be, because when was the last time this network was an amazing place to hear and see black music? Now it's fuckery. Now it's our version of trailer trash. Like, it's our version of trailer trash now. Like, it's ghetto as fuck. And it's kind of useless now. Like, I mean, we should make our own by us that's better. But with them, it's like, no, let's not do that. Let's just make a whole drama and comedy and feel by us in a studio that's not by us, but pretend it's us. It's like that. But again, I still can't get over who made the Hip Hop Awards back into the club. Really. But I mean, now we about to get into some real stuff. Besides that network being a mouthpiece of one party, now whether it's Black America should work outside of here or there, but the pendulum swings a lot. But again, what direction will you survive in when it comes to this pendulum swinging? Because I mean, is it I mean, is it dead weight? I mean, it could be, and it might be, because when you have a dying user base where most of your numbers from that network was not streaming services, it was cable subscribers, then you, like I said 2 minutes ago, you have a dying user base. Because back, speaking about 24 Hip Hop Awards, I would have covered it at the time, days after. Like, you know, like let's do it right now. Kind of briefly. Honestly, that felt like a fever dream. And then let's even bring this to the 25 when you had paid and bought celebrities doing sellout things, which is, if you're a celebrity, that's what you're supposed to do, kind of. You're supposed to kind of be the lapdog person, even though you pretend not to be one. Even though you pretend not to be one. Okay? And mentioning other groups that are not us in not the right context. If you mention it in the right context, saying we should help them but also help us, instead you do that and say no, let's do what we've been doing for the past 30 years and say, let's export the need. Let's go and say we need to help them first, not us first, knowing that we are getting choke slammed on our knees and on our necks, but it's not on tape, unlike in 2020. And the unaliving events are not on tape, unlike in 2020. So, and still, again, still in 2024, they still at the time did try to make an award show, like kind of an award show, but it's a telethon. Like, it's more like, was this really an award show, or was it state-run TV, but for Black America, to tell us what we should do? Not, you come to this network, this is what we do, this is what, like, example, there no shade, pause, they cannot compete with Synra ever in life. And I don't want to go ego for ego, but like, literally what they did, like what BT consistently did in 2024, mind you, they kind of were like, okay, we're gonna show you what we want to show you, as in we're not gonna answer the question. Like, that's, I feel like 2024 is probably gonna be the only time you're gonna ever see them try to even be like, we need black men again. Like, when it came to the vote, like, you're not gonna see them do that in 2026 and 28. So I maybe last minute, just like last time. But also the 25 won't have McDonald's as a sponsor again, which I mean, yeah. But let me finish. But let me hold on. Let me just read this to YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Prompt BT to explore reimagine formats, potentially digital first events or BT exclusives, though no concrete plans are announced. End quote. Okay, but what does YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch have to do with your numbers being terrible? I can see if you at least mention Max, Netflix, Hulu, that makes sense. But it's like Twitch is like talking about streamer awards. Like, you're thinking that the streamer awards was trying to eat up your user base. Like, y'all, somebody hit me up and just like hit me up like under Soul Tab 11 or TLB on Synra, because this is just some like this is like either way, the network is bleeding money. Even Paramount themselves was bleeding money, but this is different because despite it being air quote a black owned network for us, Paramount and Skydance might sell it, and probably already did, because they're still owned by Paramount Skydance Global, because before that it was CBS Viacom. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Because they really thought, hold on, a war show? No. Wait, war show? Yes. Club? Yes. But actually having it in a stadium, but it looks like a club? No. But an actual small club? Yes. And you wonder why the ratings are so bad, man. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Now, speaking about, if I didn't talk about this already, if I didn't talk about this already, so I'm paraphrasing, but remember when the BT Awards only drew 1.4 million total viewers across 7 Paramount networks, a drop from 3 million viewers across 10 networks in 2024, roughly 50% decline in those 18 to 80 to 49% demo. The red carpet pre-show and encore airing 4.3 million. End quote. Even though I was paraphrasing a little bit, but you get the point. But again, literally, besides the Doshi thing, at least with the BT Awards, like, was it really that relevant? Was it really that relevant? Because every single time y'all bring people in that matter, they are not actually in the arena. They're not like, let's say when SZA wins an award, or I think at the 24 to 23 BT Awards, Beyonce won an award, and she was not in the building. She probably was busy or whatever, but not even a pre-recorded clip of her saying she won an award. Like, it was very messy and ghetto. And let's not even talk about this messy, very messy ghetto tribute that was disrespectful. Let's not talk about the disrespectful tribute they did to Tina Turner, the BET Awards a couple years ago. Let's not talk about that, right? But where was the motion when it came to this show, at least the BET Awards as a whole, besides the 90s and the 2000s and the early 10s, really? Where was that motion? Where was it? Because when I'm actually able to see it live, like I did in 2022, 23, 24, 25, why was it not on a Sunday instead of a Monday? I would have actually watched it. Now, of course, it's really better to watch it on YouTube because of the performances. But now, see, what I said at the top, I did say that on September 12th. How does this tie into the Caribbean Awards instead of the Soul Train Awards? Well, we did this. Like, did you really woke up and say let's do this, or was it Master's Playbook? Because they basically said, well, let's just take our own music that was inspired from us here in the United States because of the African world music. It's nice, but when it's like, hold on, can we do this? Or should we have our own stuff and bring the world to that? Instead, it feels like that you want to latch on and not say, okay, listen, hold on. Should you like at least be like, okay, should we do this? Like, we like y'all. This is just our culture. You would think they would do that. No, like literally it feels like, let's just open the door. Matter of fact, this is an Airbnb. We overstayed the night and we was like, okay, we stayed 12 days. We overstayed the night. Not me, Paul, allegedly, not me. This is the joke. Y'all got to get it. Let me follow the joke. Follow the joke. Overstay the night. Matter of fact, you are in a house and they're renting a house and the tenants overstayed the welcome. And it's like, that was y'all basically. Like, y'all overstayed the welcome. Now, some black people in the U.S., at least to me, I think are the new elite in the establishment because this is a good idea. Let's play Caribbean music on a Black American network, and people like literally they was really like this. It was like, well, people might tune out, but that Soul Train though. But again, Hip Hop Awards probably was watched in big numbers at one point, but all they had to do, Chad, was adapt it, y'all. That's it. That's all you had to do was adapt it. Because I honestly, what happened on September 7th, which September 7th, VMAs, that event was made almost for streaming and the internet. Finally, almost, kind of. Now, I want to look. I'm going back to the 2018 flow because now it's like, hold on. I want to mention this very briefly about the VMAs. Very briefly. Um, it was laid back, which very laid back. This is why I'm not talking about too much. Very briefly, this is how you're supposed to honor legends, not ghettoly. As in, I'm not here to drag us consistently, but like that, the tribute they did was amazing, right? Very amazing, and all that. Now, okay. Now, I wish I could say that from a black award show that is music related, like the BT Awards and Hip Hop Awards. Like, I wish I could just not watch any. Like, I wish I could genuinely, like. Now I want to get into the weeds of it. I genuinely wish we could watch a black award show, y'all, without cringing. Like, I wish we could watch at least a music one. Like, I wish we could watch a BT Awards, a Hip Hop Awards without cringing. Like, could you imagine if The Weeknd was at the BT Awards performing? It would have cleared. Or Drake. Like, I made Drake pop out. Like, what are we doing? Or Travis Scott. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's also the problem with the Hip Hop Awards. I was like, wait, y'all don't even have like frequent people all the time. Like, I don't like at Hip Hop Awards, y'all been decreasing when it comes to relevant people that we know, like consistently. Like, and then speaking about that, 2024, that version of the Hip Hop Awards was to fill time in the first place. And at least at the VMAs, that tribute made sense and it was not sloppy. But the BET Awards, when y'all had a tribute to Tina Turner, that was sloppy. And also, speaking about that, since y'all technically owned by the former Paramount Viacom and now Skydance, why was the Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards on CBS and Paramount Plus? Like, why weren't they on both? Because CBS, because my bad, because the BET Awards was, but instead they had the Caribbean Awards just to fill time. Will people really watch it? Well, the ratings could be decent, but are they competing with the Hip Hop Awards or even the BET Awards? I don't know. I mean, you have other people saying it's good and it's nice, like it's glad that this is gonna be going away at some point, as in it's dropping, just like Essence, because it's, you could say, I'm gonna label this as black establishment content. You know what I'm saying? Like the black people that go to the country club, the black country club in Atlanta, and it's like most black people, sir, do not go to the black country club. Like you're sitting in DC, sir, next to the Caulk country club, and then the black one, and it's like, okay, most black people never went to the country club. I mean, I'm just saying. This sounds weird. Okay, now, now I want to just put this into the picture, y'all. Compared to the VMAs this year that happened on Sunday, September 7th, they own them too. Was there a comparison? Like even on the rap side, was there a comparison? Cause they were really like, okay, so let's have the Caribbean jumping and bumping, cause you don't know, like, and you don't know these people, but we will say the song said that. By the way, that joke I said earlier, the whole impression was probably terrible, and make you think it's an award show, since the awards are gave out to fill time. Now wait, so instead of not adapting the Hip Hop Awards and Soul Train for streaming, since there's now an open market for the Hip Hop Awards since September 2025, but really June or July 2025. But y'all turned it into the Diaspora Fest. Though there is nothing wrong with it if you told us and advertised it, and if it was well known and people knew about the non-Caribbean acts that we knew here in the States, and then on top of that, we made it worse, you sprinkled us in there, I mean, at the event. So why not just give us back the award show, like, and just put it back there on streaming? And of course, YouTube still. Instead, well, let's just cancel something that could have been better to fill time. Now, to end this whole topic, do not, as in Jollof and Jambalaya. Baby, hold on. I'm from Texas and Louisiana. Both sides Where I'm from, we had amazing seafood and Cajun food, both sides. Okay. Now, whoever said that in that clip was very crazy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. How to get off my chest? I'm sorry, but it was the blend, not the full thing. Okay. This is the prime example. Caribbean Awards. That like this goes right into the Caribbean Awards because look, this goes right in because they was. I mean, look. The whatever burgers they had over there was cool, but I don't know if it was seasoned the same way. Was it good? Like no. Look. Like my people in Jamaica, like my people in the Caribbean, but I don't know, man. It's different. Like y'all, like jollof does not have shrimp in it. Jambalaya has shrimp in it and the wheel sausage. Like could not like. And y'all, back to the Caribbean Awards. It was in a small theater. Like I remember, like y'all, I remember like literally, like I'm literally like POV. It was sunset. I'm looking at this show and I'm like, I can't believe this. But again, it was a small venue. It's nothing compared to MSG or even the venue where the VMAs was at. And this was not like, I like jokes aside, this was not a black award show, y'all. It was more like Caribbean Awards, because who are these people besides Magiska? I don't know. Besides, I don't know who she is. But besides 2 or 3 people, I think they had like Vibes Cartel or something. I don't know. Like I had to turn it off. I was like, what is this? What is this? It's like it's like when they pull up to America and it's like, my brother, what is this? Like they got the jambalaya and the jollof at the events. Like, nah, y'all know BC Awards and they never had no jambalaya and jollof. But if they did, man, if they did. But them random Caribbean burgers, I was like, they got burgers in the Caribbean? Why not BBQ? Like, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, next topic, y'all. Like I said, y'all, this topic is gonna be way different in the show. So before it was Shy and Memphis, it was DC. You feel me? Okay, you see, okay? While they are talking about was RFK in China was having a summit and what happened on September 10th? You know what happened next. We must not forget about what happened here, as in what happened over there in DC about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And this is the timeline. So this topic of the show tonight, right? So because y'all listen, y'all, this is the timeline. We have the receipts, y'all, okay? Now look, we need to know how we got there, as in how he went from could send them from DC to Chicago, from now allegedly Memphis. So look, let me just explain. So the president brung the military or the guard to DC. So let me just get you up to speed with DC, because I love doing this timeline thing. So let's do that tonight. So let's talk about him sending them first to DC, then Chicago, and also the clear fact that they are black cities. Or is it a pattern? Well, let me read first. How they even got to DC in the first damn place. The president issued an executive order. Let me requote. The president issued an executive order declaring a crime emergency in Washington, D.C., nation's capital, invoking Section 240 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. This unprecedented move transferred control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department to federal authorities for 30 days. And also, side note, we'll explain DC's crime stats as well, at least the key bits. But let me finish reading. This is from the AP headline. Approximately 2,000 National Guard troops are deployed in DC, including the 800 District of Columbia, others from other states like Texas. I know some of y'all better play that effect, because this is wild. Like other states, by the way, other states, and it's somehow considered okay. Let me finish reading. Their initial duties focused on patrolling federal buildings and assisting in beautification projects. In defense sec, P. Hegseth authorized National Guard troops back then 4 weeks ago to carry service issued weapons while on duty, marking a shift in their operational role. This is weird. Okay, and also let me read this as well. The president initially called 800 members additional of the District of Columbia, National Guard to assist federal law enforcement in its bid to crack down on crime, homelessness, and illegal immigration. Since then, 6 Republican-led states have sent troops into the city, growing military presence. And update. See, this is what and update. It got extended. We'll explain that later. Done reading and paraphrasing. Oh, one more thing. Quote from him. He said, "If I have to, I'll declare national emergency, which I don't think I have to do." End quote. Oh, and he suggested he make a similar approach in other cities such as Chicago and maybe New York. After we do this, we'll go to another location. Quote, make it safe. Also, quote. And the president said in the Oval Office referring to Chicago as a mess. He said that would be our next one after this. Quote, there were no signs the National Guard's role in D.C. would be changing. The troops have not taken part in law enforcement and have largely been protecting landmarks, including National Mall and Union Station with crowd control. And I want to read this one more time. Protecting landmarks, including the National Mall and Union Station, helping with crowd control. I mean, just because they're over there walking around does not mean it's okay. Like, the question is, did people vote for this in the sake of ICE, from it going to like hyper policing this for the content? Like, look at the clicks, because like, you know, on X.com that first week it was viral. Now it's like we're here, the timeline, like the timeline where it's like I gave you all of this, because I know some of y'all have short memory spans, and I will probably mention when it got extended when we get there. But if this happened in Latin America or Africa, protests ensue, which again, they want you to be like, don't believe your eyes, because your eyes are lying to you. And all of this is woke, as in explaining this is woke, and you're weird for doing that. And it's like, no. What's weird is, side note, he literally had negative approval with like people who was independent in a center. I mean, duh. Like, I'm one of them, which is crazy. Side note, but I'm explaining it to y'all. I'm explaining the story. Calm down, y'all. Calm down. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Look, it's really a part of the 10-year plan that they've been doing, though. Like, if you think about it, y'all, right? It's a part of the 10-year plan. Like, soon coming to Memphis, and they almost did NOLA, and part to Los Angeles again, without saying from the man that stand by his stance, right? Because look, I'm in questionnaire exoneration, which again, paraphrasing, because I mean, as in the president did question the exoneration of the Central Park 5, but while explaining this, you had from countries at one point trying to make their own G7 and G2, to you had what happened on September 10th, and I will not explain it in the episode, and I will not explain what happened on September 10th in this episode unless we making jokes about it, because no, we'll do that next episode. Okay, now let me finish reading one more time. This is from Chicago. I think we're in the are we in the Chicago part with this topic? I think we're in the Chicago part of this topic, y'all. I think, or this from the AP. I think this is from the AP. DC Councilmember Christina Henderson said the president was inviting confrontation when there doesn't need to be any. Okay, yeah, it should be peaceful, but did she forget that America's dealing with a man who is bipolar, but it's not actually being bipolar? And quote, he suggested he could prolong the deployment of troops and federal agents in Washington, end quote. Oh wait, let me finish reading. The big question is, quote, how long do we stay? Because if we stay, we want to make sure it doesn't come back. So we have to take care of these criminals and get them out, end quote. And he did extend, but I will explain why that happened in a minute. And so he wants to take care of these criminals and get them out. I mean, but what criminals though? Like, I mean, does he care about the stats? Yeah, that's woke. That's woke. 20, I mean, it's been going for. I mean, the number's been down for 20 years or a decade. But this is what happens. It's like, so you basically do not like black leaders or in power. It's like, so this major massive purge where it's like, how do you go back to back and be like, let me just go ahead and just rack it up like I'm Thanos, trying to be like, all right, let me just figure out a pressure like every single black person we see in government using DI as the N-word, not the policy. We're going to throw that in the trash. We're going to mention it like it's the new N-word. That's what we're going to do. That's what y'all are going to do. And say she is woke and keep moving, which again, you're kind of not saying it, but at the same time, making a regime inside of the U.S. is crazy. That's crazy, but we're not hopefully not doing that. I mean, trying to not make this country trying to not make this country into not being a democracy is crazy work. Crazy work. Now, is it happening? I'm optimistic, y'all. Y'all should know this. I'm 50-50. I'm not saying we're not. Look, man. Look. I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna. I'm like it's just like the flag go, yo. I'm gonna be like, hey, yo. Hold on. Let me read this. The president said he would ask Congress, quote, for $2 billion to improve the appearance of the city, including resurfacing roads and replacing street lights. He previously pledged to improve the grass to make it look like one of his golf courses. It's going to be safe, quote. It's going to be beautified, he said, end quote. What the hell? Like, what do you need to make? Like, why do you have to make it look even better, y'all? Also, Mar-a-Lago is crazy work. Like, making it look like Mar-a-Lago is like, well, Mar-a-Lago though, like, I mean, so he not only wants to run the country like it's failed business resorts, he wants to make the DC like spot right where the nation's capital is look like it, but his version, as if he could put a big fat pool there, be like Mar-a-Lago Part 2, like just resort DC, like if you want to do that, okay? But I mean, more like he wants it to be ugly and run down, really. But let's keep reading. The city's police department offices of Mayor Muriel Bowser and AG Brian Schwab were notably silent when they asked for comment about the National Guard decision. City Council Chair Phil Mendelson wrote on social media at the time that he discussed the effects of the so-called crime emergency and other topics at a town hall that Thursday night. While Council Member Breton, I think it's Nato or Nito, posted a link to report police misconduct to city officials, end quote. The city had been informed about the intent of the National Guard to be armed. A person familiar with the conversation said earlier the person was not authorized to disclose the plans and spoke on the confidential anonymity, end quote. Also, I want to quote again. Well, I mean, no. Actually, I want to get into the part where they started carrying firearms, y'all, because this is something that I know everybody probably was like, y'all, this is the sleeper one. So let me just mention this. The National Guard troops began carrying firearms during patrols with state policy using force only as a last resort, quote. Which was crazy, by the way, because how can you say this is normal when this is 2025 stop and frisk? This is like, what will happen when they see you around I just like, I'm still thinking even in 2025 right now as I'm filming this mid-September or early September, what will happen when they see you? You see some clips of them knocking people to the ground. But and then on top of that, what if they're going off of how you dress? If you look like a YN, but you're actually going to Starbucks or the bank or going to an ATM, then what? Then what? And again, I mean, now, this was, let me read this quote, August 18, 2025, last month for disclosure. The deployment was estimated to be costing an approximately $1 million per day. End quote. Side note, after reading to y'all the most recent development, we will get to Chicago because DC, it costed $1 million a day, wasting our taxpayer dollars over crime, knowing it has been down for decades. But then again, I had to realize, like, oh damn, MAGA heads, like, they don't really, like, the stats is like, it's not really clicking like that unless it's like, oh, now we gotta use stats. Oh, I get it. Okay, I understand. But now I want to say this again. It has been down for decades, and I'm not saying this. She said it, as in Mirror said it herself. Look, and go look it up as well. The actual stats too, and the data, and the law. Oh wait, it's the new law. Like Michael said, hold on that law. Like that one was gone. No textbook gone. This is ours. See, like, do you want more? It's like a deluxe album, you want, or like you more like you walk out of a shopping center, like Walmart attached, and whole guard men around because we said so. Okay, because we said so. Whole military guardsmen next to that Walmart because we said so. Because of the liberals, man. Because the liberals, man. Yeah, that joke better land. Cause look at this one, y'all. Let me. It just got extended. This is from CBS. Headline: DC National Guard deployment in the Capitol extends to November 30th. And quote, Washington commander of the DC National Guard extended the Guard's deployment to November 30th. According to National Guard officials and social media posts from the DC National Guard, this order applies only to the members of the DC National Guard who deployed last month to enhance security in the nation's capital. The order does not apply to National Guard members from other states. And then they said in the article, ABC News first reported extension, quote, I've made the decision to extend the encampment as we continue to work to ensure that everyone walks through these cities' streets are safe. Paraphrase, Brig Glenn D. Okay, Blanchard too. I should have made this way shorter for time, but anyways, let me keep reading. Interim commanding general for the DC National Guard said in the video posted to the DC National Guard Facebook page, they deserve that. You deserve that. Our nation deserves that. Quote, the White House did not confirm the extension, but the White House official said the president is committed to a long-term safety and security of Washington, D.C. for its residents and its visitors. The same day, the DC National Guard announced the extension of their mission. The district itself sued the administration over the National Guard's deployment in D.C. Attorney AG Brian Schwab claimed in the lawsuit that the administration has, quote, run long shot over the fundamental tenet of American democracy, that the military should not be involved in domestic law enforcement. A federal judge on Tuesday back then said that the president's decision in June to deploy the Guard troops and Marines in Los Angeles, which ain't done reading, hold on, I'm gonna cover that in a second because right now it's only about DC and Chicago. The DC National Guard has been deployed in the city since August 11th, and they're likely still there. The president's federal crime crackdown that's begun in the district has spread to many overseas, including Memphis, probably, allegedly. The Trump administration has cited a dip in crime in the nation's capital since the federal takeover, which includes federal law enforcement, federal control, and metropolitan department. And he said, floated federal law enforcement, including cities New Orleans, Chicago, and San Francisco, and Memphis too. The governors have to extend the National Guard deployments from nearest states if they choose to do so. In addition to 6 states who have sent the guard members to D.C., Georgia, and South Dakota. Small number of troops largely to help with public affairs. State governors, including Ohio Gov. Mike DeWine, have begun visit the guard members posted to D.C. Done reading. So, I mean, Be honest, like if you see like the images, y'all, of what DC looks like by just like I know some of y'all, as in you gonna have the people that I'm gonna be honest, like one side you could say yes, this is anti-democratic, but here's the thing: nobody's really saying like nobody's really gonna just open this top like they don't want this topic laid out like this, consistently covered like this consistently, because yeah, I did mess up in a couple parts when it came to my quote or whatever, but when you think about it, do you like this is why the coverage of this drop, same with gerrymandering, it's a drop, like you don't like, it's like don't believe your lying eyes, nothing to see here. It's like, oh yeah, they should have been on the battlefield, but hey, they're drinking they got Starbucks in their hand looking at you like, yeah, this is supposed to be normal, and it's like, oh, really, it's not. This feels like something out of Russia, maybe Germany, or any other, or not even Germany, like maybe Latin America, or any or some regime, but this is America, and um, am I crashing out? Not gonna lie, y'all, actually low key kind of rusty doing this, y'all. But anyways, back to what I'm saying. Am I crashing out? I mean, after reading all this, you see the clips, you see the pictures. Oh, if he slided them Sonola and really did send them to Memphis, I mean, saying it's not over policing and racial profiling 3.7 and police state violent volume 8 is very much insane, very much so, because we really don't know what's gonna happen after these 2 points. We really don't know. And people who are actually trying to be like, like higher than law enforcement are doing what they always did. Like, let's say grabbing a young black person, as in us, during sunset for no reason, when we are just walking, like genuine questions like that. Like, what will happen when it goes too far? What will happen when it goes too far? Because this is a whole different America. You got to put the optics in, because extended to November is crazy. Like, I never really expected a double extension, because it's like it feels like it wants to have it permanently in DC, not just down. He might extend it in down. He might put it not just in downtown. Like, I'm gonna be honest, they're open. Like, he's open with it. Like, y'all should have known this. Like, so people really voted for this. Like, did they? No, people voted for at least like lower prices on, example, gas, groceries. Not, oh, somebody, that 1% person on the internet voted for the National Guard to be in the nation's capital. That's weird. Um, I mean, now let's bring it over to some people. I will not name names, where someone said they like open white supremacy versus a man who had history that did it and took the VPs again, allegedly. Now, honestly, white white supremacy is white supremacy. Now, again, extend this November is very much crazy, because I never really expected that. Because, like, I can tell you on this show, y'all, I called it, even though in episode 1 I didn't really talk about it, but I definitely did call it. I'm gonna be honest, I called it. Now, it would be crazy if it gets an extension to March. Crazy if I called it again, but okay. It's kind of like he wants to permanently in DC, like the days after Jan 6, which is, he also had control back then, somewhat, not really, because the transfer of power was happening. So, and not just downtown. Now, bonus, y'all, before we get to Chicago, I want to get into extras that I said about the update to the Los Angeles thing. So this is very much important, because in DC, it was for the content and the likes, but the courts was like, hold on, wait, Shay, hold on, no clip, Shay. We gonna stop that. As in they made sure it was stopped. Um, Now basically the first one that was the content and the likes, and it was for, did you see how many retweets did this get? Was, let me read headline: Spectrum News 1, LA military department, as in Los Angeles, has costed 120 million, California governor says. Let me read: Sacramento administration deployment of the National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to Los Angeles this summer has cost the taxpayers 120 million. California Governor Newsom said on Thursday the figure was based on calculations provided by the Cal National Guard. The governor's request following federal government deployment of 4,200 National Guard soldiers and 700 U.S. Marines to the city in June remain deployed to the city. But, and also another quote, what he by the way said about it, quote, let's not forget what this political theater is costing us all, millions of taxpayer dollars on the drain, an apostrophe to the readiness of the Guard members across the nation, and unnecessary hardships to the families supporting our troops, Newsom said in a statement. End quote. Let me read that quote again. Let us not forget what this political theater is costing us all, millions of taxpayer dollars down the drain. End quote. Not he's actually saying something that, yeah, I mean, makes sense. I mean, it was like Terror in LA, looking like the Purge LA streaming series spinoff, but a political drama. If you think about it, it's like, this was kind of bad, but it took this long. Like, where was you? No Travis Scott, where was you? Why did it take so long? That's crazy. But hey, that's for y'all to decide, not for me to decide, and because that's what y'all to decide and what they to decide. As in, that's for them to decide, and how our Republicans respond to how Republicans respond to them. That's for them to decide. And now let me read this as well. In June, the administration overruled Newsom's authority to deploy the state's National Guard troops in a move the president justified the clashes broke out between demonstrators and U.S. immigration officials earlier this week. Not this week, but about, I think, 2 weeks ago. The federal judge ruled the administration had to legally use military forces to engage in domestic law enforcement. Newsom's office said the deployment of National Guard soldiers and the Marines costed $71 million in food and basic necessities, $31 million in payroll, at least $4 million for logistics supplies, and $3.5 million for travel, and $1.5 million in demobilization costs. Remember this again: $4 million for logistics supplies and $3.5 million for travel, and $1.5 million in demobilization costs. What the hell? So bro. You telling me that, hold on, whoa, 3.5, 1.5 million. I was like, this content shit over the guard thing. All right, it's gotta, pack it up. It's like, all right, so I'm gonna be honest, out of spite, it's like, man, y'all kind of like, y'all are kind of like that one NFL team that's like, man, y'all are so mid, but I would rather take y'all low key than the Kansas City Chiefs winning again to go to the Super Bowl again and probably lose the Super Bowl again, which I know. Do not drag me about the Kansas City Chiefs. That is for another day. Do not look. I'm gonna say good team. Don't drag me about Kansas City. But let me read this. California crushes on numbers while waiting. Data for Freedom of Information Act has requested filed in August to learn the cause of federal government's troop deployment. The administration has not responded, as in the president, by the way, his administration has not responded to requests. Newsom's office said, as quote, the president threatens military deployments to other states. No, there are real financial and societal costs, the governor's office said in a statement. In recent weeks, he has deployed the Guard to D.C. and threatened to send troops in Chicago, Baltimore, and New Orleans, and also is thinking about now sending to Memphis, which I end quote done reading. Had to realize, man, that when he was flip flopping with the tariffs, like 25 to 100%, I be forgetting like all it takes is like one true social tweet, and like all of a sudden, y'all, like literally, all of a sudden, it's like, oh man, all of a sudden, like overnight, it's like next city, like who this? It's like, man, it's like, can you just not take tropical business trips on the taxpayer dime and not tell us about this? Like, oh man, it's like, what is this for your excursions? Like all the security for your excursions, and y'all could have just used the normal pathway for your excursion security instead of just this wasting our taxpayer security and let them do their actual job. But no, like it's like IRL vamp activity, putting his fangs in the things that, like, look, like he does not burn in the sun. Orange tint, like what? Okay, you know what, y'all, this joke, just throw that. Yeah, just don't. Nope, y'all, just no. The joke is mid. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, but really, like that much. Like, why did we not Dojify the military yet? Somebody play that sound. Because no, y'all, listen. No way we almost spent 1 billion for this type of content to make people scared, make people feel like, man, is this an African regime in Africa or is this America? No, this is, we are the new America. And if you disagree with it, unlike in Russia, unlike in any other country, we could do something wrong and we do not care. And we, as in them, they do not care. You could be like, yeah, I mean, this kind of is wrong and it's wasting our money. But they're like, we don't care because the liberals, that was liberal stats. So wasting 1 billion in our taxpayer dollars is liberal stats. Oh, really? Okay. And like I said, this was a part of the timeline and the transition. And we covered, and I would have covered it as it happened now. We did do that because openly destroying a kind of like a democratic republic for the likes and content in the name of crime was crazy work, like I said at the top. Because look, y'all, if this happened again in a Latin American country, so from Mexico to Brazil, or literally like Africa, like I literally just said, y'all, like literally Africa, I mean that did happen in some African country, don't at me, and almost making America a police state and keep over policing. Matter of fact, hyper policing, because did you vote for that? Did we vote for the hyper policing of normal police and ICE in America? Yeah. Let's tap into that. I know, because I know y'all would want to be scared to be like, let's not really get into ICE, and it's like, no. I'm not gonna scream at you with this. I'm gonna be like, let's get into the fact that it's like this can tie into like they kind of do hire or could hire police officers to get this done. I mean, there's a difference between policy and when you see it. It's kind of like, okay, when it comes to weapons, like when it comes to bump stocks, it's a problem. Well, then why did you buy one? That's weird. It's like certain ARs you didn't want existing, but then why did you buy one? What's going on? And another real question, did you vote for a man that is on or off for tariffs? Now, you could say this is for them not doing that. That's cool. Not them, right? But still, all of these topics I showed y'all on the show tonight, felt like Rihanna R9 could drop for y'all to be like, let's do something now and let's do it spread out. And it's like, y'all, there was multiple. This alone was like right here. This alone, gold mine. Okay. I mean, like how, like where do we, like, y'all, where do we go from here? Because like literally, like I had to realize this. Like y'all do realize how like I don't mind people that like look, bro, y'all. I know y'all about to come on. If I'm, it's gonna. This is very draggable, but let's do it. Y'all will probably drag me for like people that's in my real life. That's like, okay, you voted for the president, fine, we could talk. But y'all that sit in a gaming chair with a secret lab that's $500, y'all do not leave the crib. Big studio mic. I know I'm hypocritical, but the people that went from we wanted free speech, but y'all just want to remove it from people that are on the left or assumed to be the left, knowing they are not on the left, but that speech might be stifled, is not just dangerous. Again, I want to say this again. Where do we go from here? How do we avoid to reach that breaking point where, like I said, at some point, we're gonna do this probably maybe later this week, where gerrymandering that just happened in, let me just go ahead and get Missouri, I think. Yeah, where in Missouri, they have a basically whole map, right? Like a whole different map where it's only one blue seat, which is like, is that supposed to be how a democracy works? No. You would think no. But that, like, again, like, the reason why I said that, because it's like, well, I mean, like, how do we avoid this breaking point? Like, how do we, like, avoid the breaking point where one party, no matter the side they win, or it's, I don't want to say that, but where it's kind of like fixed, kind of, or at least the American right forces at a whim an election like the UK, Brexit, anyone, an actual dictator country, because I would crash out. But these are genuine questions, because look, y'all, I was very cool, monotone, but these are real questions. They're real questions, because saying it's for immigration is like the current social media laws that was across the country, where they had, like, okay, you had to be like 15, 16, 16, 15, 16, 17, sometimes 18, and saying it was for the kids and the children. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a lead up. They're going to try to take away more of our privacy, and kind of say for this reason. I had to realize that because the pendulum does swing, including the Black MAGA heads trying to get you a Sydney Sweeney, which you're not gonna get. You're not gonna get one. And it will be old, and it's done. Is all online now. All online, and I'm saying it's all online as in all of the online right activities. Okay. Now, far right, very crazy. Let's not talk about Jan 6 today, please. Can we not talk about Jan 6 today, please? Not right now. But again, current online right, it's like, can y'all go outside for 5 minutes and please think for a second? No. Y'all, it's like a mix of how y'all would act in 12, but modernized. It's like, oh my God, the liberals, go change that. He might send us to Chicago. I remember they was live. I don't want to talk about what happened on September 10th, man. I will cover it in the next episode, but I will kind of get teased right now before we get to the Chicago thing, or at least New Orleans thing, Chicago thing. So I'll explain, but like what I want to do is right now is so now, you know what? No. Actually, it's like, nah, let's just get to Chicago one. Nope, let's not do that. So now we explain the DC thing, so let's explain the Chicago part. So let me read. Gov Pritzker said some of the federal agents are being relocated from immigration operations from Los Angeles, while Section National Guard is preparing for Chicago's deployment. Run it back. Quote, Governor Pritzker says some federal agents are being relocated from immigration operations in Los Angeles while the Texas National Guard is preparing Chicago for deployment. End quote. Now, I'm not going to, y'all, I like my home state, like sending them in, that's crazy. Now, mind you, y'all, I don't really talk about this frequent. So this might be the only time I talk about ICE ever, like in this whole show, probably. Let me just quote, as the president seems to, let me just quote, as, and also this is from ABC 7, the whole page, by the way, that I kind of sourced, by the way, for the source fan, look it up. Quote, as the president seems to waffle on whether the guard will be deployed to Chicago or elsewhere, Governor Pritzker joined a group of nearly 80 community violence interrupters from 15 to 20 different organizations during a training exercise at the Metropolitan Police Initiative. The training was sure to make sure members of these groups were prepared for any potential interactions with ICE or the National Guard. With looming immigration operation is why organizers of Fiestas Patriots Parade and Festival in nearby Waukegan, which is the largest of its kind in the state, for a 30-year-old event, which is set for September 14th, which was for the full disclosure yesterday, as it is taped. Quote, our objective is to not frighten the community, but to let them know what's the real deal, what's the reality. They are here, said Margaret Carrasco, or Fiestas Patriots Parade Festival organizer. We're going to have 50K people that come out to our parades. A number one priority to take our residents to make that call. It comes with Mexican Independence Day celebrations in our area that can also be seen. Okay. Now, I want to get you something exclusive. Like, you literally, this is something while reading, I was like, man, this is like the weirdest part, y'all. Like, going through it, it's like, who's man, like, who, like, you woke up and said, nothing to see here. This was perfectly fine. Like, just not even check, like, if they really had papers and were kind of, like, you know, gonna get rid of them anyways. And it's like, man, instead of just having a pathway, you just said get rid of them all, which, I mean, okay, but, yeah, I mean, you mean all, like, not just undocumented ones, though? Like, okay, well, let me just read this. While Republican State Representative Mark McLaughlin says he's questioning why people are wary of National Guard troops in the city. I'm trying to understand why Americans in uniform are sitting on a street corner trying to protect other Americans is an actual threat to anyone. Rep McLaughlin said, I think it's a threat. I think it's a threat to those that failed. Northern Suburban Evanston's Human Service Committee just passed a resolution calling on Congress to ban federal agents from wearing masks. And quote, love it here. See how that go? No, they should, like, yeah, we now, again, what he is saying sounds crazy. It's like a test case. Like, if actual martial law or the military happened on the streets, they would say the same thing. Like, if we really did get to a point where it's an Americanized version of Russia or China, they would say the same thing. The same. Now, the thing is, them wearing masks, it's like, okay, first off, this was happening. Like, wait, so hold on. Because when you see it go viral, you don't see them wearing masks. So, But this is like worse than what happened in 2020 during BLM. It's like every movie that's like, oh, it's a movie, and now this is real life. Now this is real life. And I mean, crazy and actually insane, because they do not care, because this is what they do. This is what they do. They were waiting, for example, how over there, how will they treat black Americans in DC is pretty wild. If it's a dispute, you think of like, first off, the National Guard in DC, they don't even probably have body cams. Let's be serious. And ICE, I know damn well ICE don't got body cams. And mind you, yes, ICE is mainly looking for people who don't have green cards and are not U.S. citizens. Then again, how do they know? Like, I'm still trying to understand, like, how do they know? They know, but how do they actually know? Like, is it to the is it to the point where they're knowing accents? Like, what are we doing here? I might be wrong, because if someone had pulled out a phone or not pulled out a phone because they were too busy or terrified, when you see that, do you want to pull out a whole phone, being like, look, basically, like, look? But when he said, quote, I am trying to understand why an American in uniform standing on the street corner is trying to protect other Americans is a threat to anyone, end quote. Again, you're kind of supposed to represent the people, and you can't. I mean, I don't know. Ask your voters, do a town hall. Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, Beef Central. But again, very wild comment. It's like, did you read the room? Did you read the room? Did you read the room? I mean, did you read the room? I mean, read the room. Cause imagine you go through, imagine you're right near the city target and you seeing the guard right there, and you like, I'm just trying to get this. I'm trying to get my smoothie. I'm trying to get my berry mix. Trying to get my cleanser, and then I see like I'm still gonna walk in that Target, but man, this is weird. Like that basically. But then at the same time, y'all, this is what they do. I mean, this is what MAGA does. Man, like this is like man, look, checks and balances. Oh, I forgot. I forgot, yo. I remember. I was like, oh wait. Didn't they say they made sure the hold on, wait, didn't they make sure? And I mean, look, two things that come fast, y'all. I had to remember: Amazon Prime and illegal migrants getting shipped off to other countries like it's as fast as Amazon Prime shipping. I was like, man, I forgot about that. Like they were like, we're so proud that we made DC into a stop and frisk police state, looking like another country. Once you get in, I remember you seen the clips. They said it looked like another country. Like y'all already know how they get down. He literally said DC turns to a case study, right? So they were standing around and proud, like, look at us. We made the nation's capital stop and frisk police state. We got to look like another country. And that was in DC. But Chicago, I don't know. I mean, Russia, I don't know. North Korea, I don't know. Now, run it back. It's like when a new iPhone drop, funny because it's dropping right now as I'm talking, or a new LV or Gucci bag. Instead, we're dropping surveillance. Surveillance. Okay? Now, if it really did also just out of spite, as I'm talking, like just came to Chicago as well, it's like, well, I mean, Watch Dogs 1 was a good game, but I didn't tell you to make it the real thing. Damn. Now look, again, before like anything changes and before like they just like somehow do what they did in LA, Los Angeles, and Chicago, I got to get y'all the stats. First half of 2025, homicides are reportedly down 30% in the first half of 2025 compared to the same period in the previous year. Shootings down 38%. These year-to-date improvements reflect Chicago's steepest mid-year declines in decades. End quote. Now, all it took was less than a second. They tell you it was like 2012. The first black president was from there. Now NYC is 24 data, by the way. Let me show y'all New York's data for reference. Violent crime rate, total violent crime rate 6.9 per 100,000. The homicide rate 4.3 per 100,000. Property crime rate 2.72 per 100,000. This is back in 2003. The U.S. average homicide rate was 5.6 per 100,000, making New York City notably safer than average. They're reading. So again, y'all, we're tired of the clicks and the retweets. It gets it like, how are y'all not tired of you wake up, you see for the clicks and the retweets? It's like, man, stop getting us with the bait and switch. Like, even me, it's like, man, when you first see the post, do you know how low vibrational it feels? Like, at first you see what he does, it's like, man, it feels very low vibrational. Then you calm down and be like, all right, some of y'all can't calm down because this is like new era reporting, basically. Okay, this is like new era reporting. That's all we doing here. I'm just telling y'all what it is, telling y'all what it is and how I personally feel. Okay, now, thinking he's still fine, baby, this is not 2016. He's doing it openly. Then again, so we're gonna just ignore Jan 6? I mean, and also I wanna, the motherfuckers that's moving homelessly politically right for no reason instead of getting money together to have that party that can be inside of another party and make another big black fun group, basically. So by the way, when I'm saying this part, I'm talking about those specific people, without saying y'all name directly. Okay, now I want to tie this to black cities where you have, I have other places you'll mention the crime rate, and I will mention the real data, so where he might actually want to attack black cities without saying it's like an 8chan or far right, 8chan or far right spaces person's dream. And let me read this as well too. I think this is from Houston, right? Was this from Houston, or is this from Houston? Or is this from still Chicago or New York? Let me read this. This is another one, Chicago, I think. So 2023 trend, 50% decline for someone to do quote, and it was 16 homicide. I'm gonna do now. Let's just do Los Angeles real quick. Let me just show you this. LA County, Los Angeles County had 69 homicides, 23 population breakdown. Homicide rate 6.8 per 100,000, lower than Cook County, Chicago. I'm so confused. So what are these YNs in Los Angeles doing? What do y'all do over there? Like, is it shoplifting? Like, what do y'all do over there? Are they talking about like Los Angeles, like where SoFi, aka and the Crypto.com arena, even though SoFi was in Inglewood. So I'm thinking Crypto.com arena, the Peacock Theater. I'm thinking, so in that vicinity, downtown LA, people ain't doing that much. Okay? Like, they're not doing that much. Now I want to read from Houston as well. Now, it said, now where I found this, there isn't exactly a full report for 2025 for Houston yet, but again, it's not citywide, but there is data. This is from the feds. Now, let me read this quote. Pre-2025 shows Houston's violent crime rate, Houston, Texas, was around 5.93 per 100,000, higher than New York's areas, and 3.3 in Los Angeles areas, 497. Now, end quote. Now, Chicago has the highest in this list, but the Big Easy NOLA has the highest crime rate. In fact, Louisiana as a state red, not just voting, because the state is red noted. I have family from the whole Lake Charles area near Opelousas. What we doing? And New Orleans, the same place that hosted the Super Bowl this year as it is taping in 2025. Now, imagine, right? See, look, let me get y'all like in this vibe. So now, look, so now they had the guard, right, in DC, Chicago. Imagine it's basically like martial law. What I'm saying is martial law. Like, imagine they bring it back. So you're in the Lou Willis Tower, and like instead of you have the tourists with the iPhone 17 Pro Maxes and iPhone Air, you got whole armed men with the Air chilling, vibing. You gonna see girls with BBLs, and she's a part of the guard, bro, getting brick because he's seen a guards woman like turning stadiums, like you even see at the Crypto.com arena, like turning whole stadiums to a big checkpoint. And it's like the Olympics over there is only a few months, well, not a few months, years away. The cup ain't even for the next 6 months. Chill on that. It's like tell us what it is. Like, do we really want a police state and martial law Americanized? No. But tell us instead of all this vagueness. Cause like the thing is, now remember in like city by city where it's happened that people protest it, but it's like, I mean, with us, Black Americans, we protest is like nothing really happens. Like Black Americans free me. We experience this time and time again. Like you raise your voice, march, nothing really happens. It's like in 2020, everything's getting rolled back from that time. Now, in a normal government, you would think that, hey, we don't got to worry about this. The guard outside with whole ARs, but it's where we at. So yeah, and with all of that timeline unpacking, it's been, again, like I said, it's been 1 month since the guard has been in DC. Now, September 25, the opposite could occur. Now, I think this is so weird because y'all, this is like the files. Like people who know now tonight. This is weird. I know y'all are gonna y'all are gonna be like, man, why you gotta bring up this theory? Why you gotta bring it up for? But bringing in National Guard. Remember in 2012 when they had a theory about Jade Helm. Follow me, y'all. Okay. Now, it was about a theory that falsely claimed, quote, Jade Helm was the U.S. Special Operations Command exercise, which was false from July 15th to September 2015. 15th. Wait, whoa. Okay, yeah, that was almost a decade old. That was long. That theory was long, but it spanned 7 states: Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, California, Nevada. Okay, and as it is taping, it's literally been an exact 12 years to a decade. Now, let me just explain more. Now, the actual theories around it was martial law and the cover up of the theory that the likes of Alex Jones pushed. And Jade Helm wasn't training at all. They said, they kind of spend it that way, but a plan for the Fed government to declare martial law, seize guns, and crush dissent, which was false. It was not a real theory. And the far right pushed it. Mind you, they pushed it in the early days of the internet and YouTube and social media. Now, you might hear people on the left saying what is going on in DC, and soon Memphis, and could still be Chicago and Los Angeles in the summer of 2025 over immigration and crime could be similar to what happened in 2015. So let's get the key business title for understanding, shall we? Walmart concentration camps. Now, this was everywhere. On social media and YouTube. Let me read, quote, around that time, several Walmart stores closed for suddenly plumbing issues. Conspiracy theories claim falsely that these Walmarts are being converted into detention centers or underground staging hubs connected by secret tunnels. And the idea was that the military will round up political dissidents, especially conservatives, and imprison them in these camps. End quote. And the theory itself sounds so weird, out of a movie, that at the time people believed it. Now, I knew about it, but I didn't know it was real. And I was like, people actually believe this, which is crazy at the time. Like, but the thing is, thinking that our government will round up political dissidents, especially liberal and far left people, are suspected to be unlike conservatives, which would be crazy. Because I mean, either way would be crazy though. Like either way, either way is very unlikely, and it would never happen. Hopefully, and thank God. But this did set the groundwork for how the American right works. Like, are we really at the point where I can tell you about this tonight? In this country is where we are. Like this, like literally this topic, just like the files that's trending right now that everybody's talking about, this should have never seen the light of day. Besides just random people bringing it up. Now, you don't know how to spend this, only covering it when it's coming up. Okay? Like at Synra, we here did that. Because when they say go woke or go broke or go crazy, go to anti-woke, go broke. Go to anti-woke, go broke. This is what we're doing here, okay? Now, hopefully we cover it more. Hopefully it gets better and better and better. And hopefully we can talk about him going to Memphis next. So, all of the contentness, all of the funniness beside us, right? Are we okay? Now, you could call this part of the show, this special segment, like, it's kind of like, you know how the process is for a system check for a PC, right? But we're doing this for a country. You could say it's a little, you know, like democracy check, whatever we're going to call it. So I want to get my notes here. Let me go ahead and grab this. So September, no, my bad. August 25th, 2025. Now, you might think, oh man, this was a minute ago, but wait, this is crazy still, because while y'all talking about that, let's not forget this. I know it was like last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, but this show, but I got something for y'all, but I want to explain this. So this was about literally burning the American flag. Now, you could say, well, that's kind of wrong to do. Okay, but the government charging people and making it a felony over the American flag. Now, I read that exec order. In fact, I've read many of these exec orders. Department of War. We will talk about that later on, not on this episode. This one, I want to actually read this one for y'all. So let me read this quote. This is in section 2. I'm gonna blink it in the show notes. This is the section 2 part. Measures to combat desecration of the American flag. AG shall prioritize the enforcement to the fullest extent possible to our nation's criminal and civil laws against acts of the American flag desecration that violate applicable consent or content neutral laws. This may my bad. Let me go back. While causing harm to unrelated expression consistent with the First Amendment, this may include but not limited to violent crimes, hate crimes, illegal discrimination against American citizens, or other violations of American civil rights, and crimes against property and peace, as well as conspiracy to attempt to violate any abetting to violate such laws. Don't read it. Now, when you might think when you see violent crimes and hate crimes, a lot of this is like, okay, this only happened a little bit ago. Like, literally, do you know how vague all of these exec orders are? Like, y'all, like, seriously, like, if we're being serious, like, he could sign one this week, y'all. And I'm like, bro, like, yo, like, bro, like, listen, like, all of them are so vague, man. Like, do you know how, like, it feels like you read, like, literally, man, no, but seriously, though, literally, it's like, this is a government, not a tech company, and y'all made an exec order like it's a tech company being like, okay, here's something we just made as a press release, and it's like, no, this sounds like very weird example. It's like, okay, the reason why I bring this up is because how does this align with if you are one, of course, the pro-Palestinian protesters, and back in 2020 the BLM protesters, or if we even had a mid-2020s version of BLM, but like people with, like, I don't know, like, man, the Freedmen flags, you know, just crashing out. Like, what would happen then? Or even, in fact, what will happen currently when, I mean, ICE and legal migrants, say what you want about illegal migrants, but man, hold on. So if they do any of these things, will they be deported for that? I mean, they did, then okay, but the thing is, does this also mean that our government, because it's kind of weird that during what happened on September 10th, I mean, you did have the top DA or some top, like, the FBI direct saying that we found them first before the local officials, so that's kind of weird. Now, to be honest, saying that this is fine about this law is very weird. Now, listen, I want to just, because imagine left-wing flags, right? You burn that next to the American flag, and I'm saying left-wing flags because follow me, y'all. If you had a BLM flag and the American flag in one picture you posted on the internet, right, it went viral. Imagine the government just after you for that in general. Like, imagine they're that mad, like they're crashing out. They're crashing out on your post, and it could be as a joke or satire for real, and they're on you because of that. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I want to read the key bits even more in cases where the Department of Justice or mind you, I'm gonna let y'all people who do the legal stuff, y'all can just go do that. But I'm just reading this, y'all. Let me finish reading. Or agency determines that an instance of the American flag may violate an applicable state or local law, such as opening, burning restrictions, disorderly conduct laws, or destruction of property laws. The agency shall refer to the matter with the appropriate state or local authority. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so hit me up on x.com. But I'm tired of this gray area, though, because I know he got it from Elon. Do not let the beef fool you. Way back, okay? Way back, okay? Because did us, because we didn't vote for this. I sure the hell did not. But did y'all over there vote for an exec order to burn a flag and make that illegal, and also state and local officials can basically intertwine themselves to be like, yeah, like you going to prison based off that? Like it goes all the way to a state federal case instantly, like that, like all over a flag, y'all, all over a flag. I'm still not done reading, because when I said something about earlier about the ICE thing, say what you want about ICE and illegal migrants and all that. Now, when I said, oh, they're getting deported, they really can if they do this. So let me requote: Second State and AG and the Secretary of Homeland Security, acting within their respective authorities, shall deny, prohibit, or terminate or revoke visas, residence permits, naturalization proceedings, and other immigration benefits, or seek removal from the United States in 18 or 8 USCs whenever there's been appropriate determination that foreign nationals have engaged in the American flag desecration in an activity under circumstances that permit the exercise such remedies under pursuant to federal law. Done reading. See, I told y'all. I told y'all off rip. I'm not happy for it, but off rip, they're gonna be deported. I thought like, oh yeah, because if they burn the flag, now when American citizens get involved and they charge you a skirt around the 2A and the 1A like they do us Black Americans right now all the time, right? Now, and they probably have been doing this as a saping, but with undocumented people like will get deported over burning the American flag. The question, specifically, it's like, so somebody from the Middle East, like a Palestinian, could catch or like someone from Egypt. Matter of fact, okay, so let's just say anybody who was an illegal migrant, right? Or anybody who was an undocumented person, you could even say like an African, they did this, they're getting deported instantly. They should have known that if they were like Nigerian or something, or like, I don't know, like South African, like I should have known that. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's in a different context versus in an American context. Now, I'm be honest, why, when I broke all this down, this is not the same as the timeline earlier in the show. Where was all this? Why we didn't see this cut? Why we didn't see it like this? Why the way I unpacked it here like this? Why did you not see both sides be like, let's unpack it, let's really have debate about this? Because let's really hey, this is a major, somebody play that sound effect of the boom sound effect, because this is very major pause. Let's have the conversation. I just want to talk. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just have a conversation about it, because it's like, you have to let this, like, basically, you have to let the storm pass. Now, the right in this convo, they're gonna say, we made sure the woke liberals can stop burning the American flag and the Confederate Christian nationalist flag, and it's like, yeah, we did America right, and it's no, you didn't. you didn't, because you're crashing out over something that just happened almost a week ago as of this taping. And my bad that I said Monday any other part, because this will get sorted out through the courts. Hopefully this cannot actually be something that people can be charged for, because I don't even know. Like, imagine like AI, like imagine them holding the flag and like it's over with. Like, this is now. Oh, this is another thing. I'm not laughing. This is not funny. I forgot to tell y'all this, and ignore my mouse clicking. I told y'all I'm in my big room. Okay. The worst happened literally the worst happened. So let me read this headline. Veteran detained for burning a flag in protest of the executive order. And this, which, by the way, this part I think is from Newsweek. Yeah, it's from Newsweek right here. 22 Army veteran was arrested near White House after setting fire to the American flag. And this has happened, I think probably, I'm gonna just say it happened like about a Monday ago or 2 weeks ago, because I'm gonna just go with that. The man who got caught for doing this, let me read, quote, his name was Jay Carey, a retired combat veteran and a Bronze Star recipient, was taken into custody after the incident in Lafayette Park. Fox 5 reported, let me just stop reading for a second, and they said two-way. And they said up to the states. Let me finish reading, y'all, the key bits. Hold on. Quote, in videos posted on social media, Carey was telling passerby that the president's executive order violates the First Amendment. Quote, I served over 20 years in the United States Army, he said. I fought for every single one of your rights to express yourself. However you feel that you may want to express yourself, it is a First Amendment right to burn a flag, and even more. He added, I'm doing it for every single one of you American citizens. We burn this flag in protest. The president who feels that it's in his right to do whatever he wants, make whatever law he wants, regardless if it's legal or illegal. I'm reading for a second. Facts, he's not lying. Let me finish reading. Carey previously went viral after hurling expletives at Chuck Edwards as he criticized the president's administration cuts at a town hall event in North Carolina March. Oh, was that man? Oh, it was him. I told y'all. Yeah, we're gonna skip that part because I'm not even gonna play that clip because I ain't got time for this. I do. Otherwise, we'll be talking about it. But let's just finish. Reading. He later told the Asheville Watchdog in an interview that he felt it was necessary, adding, I think it was the only way to really get his attention, and it was the energy that I want to see from everyone to stand up and speak back to representatives that aren't serving us as their duty. He said he was escorted out of the building but not charged with any offenses. According to the news website, Carey is a registered Democrat who served in a tank corps in Desert Storm in Iraq and Afghanistan and Bosnia. He also ran for Edwards' congressional seat in 2022 but lost in the Democratic primary. Done reading. Damn! Wait, this is the same person that went viral for that viral moment and registered Democrat? Okay. I mean, after reading all that, I don't really care if he was registered the color Maroon Party No 5, because look, hit me up if I'm wrong, but I mean, I'm surprised, y'all, that he did not get a felony, because they never said it was legal to just burn a flag in your, like, literally the gray area. They were like, so is it illegal on government property for us to burn the American flag, or is it, let's say, in our homes, as in outside your backyard or front yard, it's illegal to burn it if you even take a picture of it and says you burnt the flag that's on your property. Imagine that. This is how weird this gray area is, y'all. But, or even during a protest, which, I mean, listen, now, hold on. Now, I already know I'm 5 weeks ahead of y'all. I told y'all, do not play with me. MC30 gonna be like, yeah. So the woke liberals and the family structure and the woke mind virus, and it's like, we have the content, we have the receipts. I gave y'all the receipts consistently. Like, literally, it's like, what is gonna happen when you see people on the other side of the aisle? Imagine we had a Black American Freedman flag or a Black American flag. Matter of fact, 2025 right now, the FBA flag or even the BLM flag, let's take it there. They burn that flag. Or a Black American be like, oh, really? Okay, let's go blow for blow. So imagine they're gonna burn a Confederate flag and all of the far right flags and the MAGA flag, just imagine. I know content, but literally, what is gonna happen when we get into the picture? Craziness ensues. We know that, but this is the gray area I'm talking about. I say at the top, I do not like this gray area from the administration. Period. I do not like it. It's like, bro, you're running the country like it's big tech, where it's like, all right, new update dropping. We're just gonna drop the update. We're not even gonna tell, like, we'll fix it in the next patch. Except this is a country, so like what patch are you patching, sir? What patch are you patching, sir? Explain. Next topic, y'all. Man, y'all thought I had to leave? Man, look. Now let's come back home. See how that go? Well. Look. Well. I want to talk about Dr. Umar, and look, king of Pan-Africanism. So he had a school, right? Now, his school, FDG MD Academy, right? Let me just read this quote. Reports from Delaware State. Dr. Umar Johnson's FDG Academy is facing 2 court judgments totaling $76,000. Okay, for unpaid fees, water bills, and penalties. Court filings confirm the city of Wilmington has issued writs of granted. I'm not reading that part. Granting the sheriff's authority to seize and auction the school buildings if the balance isn't cleared in 20 days. Don't read it. Interesting. So imagine making a school where you like, okay, you know all the videos on X.com that go viral, y'all, right? Where you see Dr. Umar making like videos teaching like African history, but why don't you teach Black American freedmen history like it's a mini HBCU, but it's like community college level size? No shade to people in Africa. We can do that both. But here's the thing though. The problem with him is like you don't teach our history directly like that. Like that would be nice if it was like, oh yeah, all these inventions, we did this and that, patents, all that. Instead, you think we're 100% from Africa, which like it's always been a mix. That's why we had Negro. We had. I'm gonna make this clearly just key point for my argument and whole topic in this show. You had Negro. You had colored. You had African American, and then you had Black American before that, or maybe all the time, maybe even to this day, and then now person of color. And now minority, but I'm not going to get to all of it. But I want to continue reading. The Wilmington property secured no auction, but the academy is not open to no students, staff, or classes. It is still a vacant, partially renovated building. Johnson is fundraising via PayPal, Venmo, and planning events, but no firm 2025 opening date. His website describes as a currently working on building. And recent laws focus on appeals rather than progress. And let me add this in too. Widespread criticism, especially on social media platforms like Reddit and X.com, formerly Twitter. Critics point out 10 years of delays, lack of transparency, no interior photos until recently, and Johnson's personal controversies. Tell me about it. E.g., psychology and license issues in 2018, where he accused of practicing without a full license but not fined. Some estimate $5 million raised with little to show. Johnson denies fraud, blaming sabotage and contractors. She switched to white contractors for reliability and community in action. Brother, you're pro-Black and this and that, but you had to call the white contractors or the Latin contractors like I do. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Not really, because when did I mean, maybe at one point. I don't know. But that also, before this episode ends, sorry for the stumbles, y'all. Because, yeah, sorry for the stumbles. Because, you know, I need to stop speed reading, but sorry for the stumbles, y'all. But back to him. Yeah, of course, controversies. Like, Dr. Umar is like a controversial content figure in Black America. It's like, bro, like, you do this and that. Like, I want to see progress. You have to show me that this is there. I want to see this. Like, imagine having one academy over there in Delaware. I want to see one across the country. How about you slide one in Atlanta? Slide one in New Orleans. Okay, slide one in New Orleans. Okay, slide one in Dallas. Slide one in Houston. Okay, and I would add this in. Quote, intruders destroyed books, cultural artifacts, and supplies. Structure intact, but repairs delayed opening till September 2026. Done reading. Delayed opening till September 2026. It's gonna never be out, basically. Somebody get a clock to clock that, basically. Now, let me add this in so y'all just know the full picture. Quote, personal academy bank accounts frozen after hacking attempts, cutting off funds. City of Wilmington posted a notice for unpaid fees. 4 years vacant. Johnson claimed no prior notification and he railed donations and planned lawsuits for discrimination. Fees paid, but property remains vacant. And this was recent, right? Now back in 2024, delayed December 24 from 2025 due to needing guarding and final tweaks. Johnson stopped giving firm dates after Mrs. Vandalism in June damaged the 5,000 really book library artifacts, pushing to 2026. Now, as of taping 2025 right now, quote, August, sheriff's sale threatened for unpaid vacant property fees from $5,000 to raising $12,000 and utilities. Auction deadline August 25th. Pen passed as it is taping. Johnson called for protests and donations, framing it as racism. Paid fees by deadline. Averting sale with no opening has been confirmed, and again, as of September, still not operational. Done reading. It was supposed to be open. It was supposed to be open, but it's not. It's supposed to be open, but it's not. Let me get more key bits now. Let me just get more key bits because some of y'all are like, well, who is this man and this and that? So let me just explain. Hold on. Quote, Dr. Johnson, self-described Pan-Africanist and psychologist and activist, announced that the academy as a residential school for black boys with plans to expand to girls later will empathize Pan-Africanism, international economics, African history, while avoiding what he calls miseducation in public schools, plus specialized areas like political science, healthy vegan diets, African language, and martial arts. He aimed to create an independent institution to empower black youth. Don't read it. Now, you might think that this is a good idea, which mind you, I was not trying to get an introduction of who is Dr. Umar, because what do I look like? Okay, I was really trying to get your introduction to the school I'm in. My bad. Okay, fine. But again, when you see a mattress firm on every block and no one shops there, it's like, hold on, wait, 10 years of delays for a small location that's not even open? A damn shame. Interesting. Very much so. But what's more even interesting is African history cool, but if it wasn't just that, how about Black American history? Making this like community college ideas in like a smaller version of an HBCU. Instead, you are teaching non-Black American history in the guise of think of the black children. But if you said this is for the Nigerian and South African children, or I found out on 23andMe that I was 7% Nigerian, 7% Ghanaian. Okay, fine. Instead, it's this. Because it sounds like you're trying to brainwash people. That's what it feels like. It's like, did you actually know actual Africans that support this? No, most likely not. He's probably seen by actual Africans as grifting to their culture instead of claiming who he actually is as a Black American. And because Pan-Africanism was like a phase for us. It was like a phase for us. Until they actually came in and said, no, you are not one of us. You are not one of us. And we are doing the same thing in 2025. And it's kind of conflicting because it's seen as this and that phobic, all because we said no. We gotta check paperwork now. Like, I'm sorry, like we gotta check the paper. We gotta do it. We gotta see, okay, this, that, okay. We should, like, it's not even December. We gotta check a list and see who's nice and naughty, you know? I'm hoping all these jokes landed, by the way. But instead, whatever you're trying to do, it feels very white adjacent. It's like you want to remove history as well and not tell us. Like, Umar really said donations for my school. Donations! And probably, of course, also my African brothers and sisters. And also I don't give a damn about Black American history. You shall be taught about the Dashikis. And you came from Africa only. Right? I hope this one was good. But I'm literally hoping y'all this other joke I added into the dashikis and the African only was good too. But shout out to y'all of Russian dashikis. But yeah, we separated from y'all though. Not well. I mean, in real life, I like that. In real life, I like Africa. Like in real life, I bump Tyler. I like Africa. Would I catch a flight to South Africa? Hell no. But I like y'all country. If it was a world class city there, I would go there one time and that's it. I like y'all people when y'all come over here. Cool. I mean, y'all look like, hey, the women look nice, but she got to come here first. But only teaching that was my biggest problem, because it felt anti-Black. Because now your suspected clear supremacist, your chalk supremacist, are gonna say, well, you don't know where you come from. You're from Africa and you should go back. And bruh, this joke, I'm not gonna lie, this joke has to hit. And the funny thing is, we're not really even in the picture all like that in 2025. Like, y'all beefing as in y'all the people with the same skin tone as paper. The people with the same skin tone as ice cream, the vanilla people. Okay. So let's go back to them for a second. Like, y'all beefing with y'all own women and everything from brands to everything else, right? And if we were in the picture, it would have been, oh man, not again. Bro need to wash his hair because it ain't been washing days. Bro in Vegas get the heat off of me. That could be a bar, but yeah, that could be a bar. This joke was kind of mid. I'm not even gonna lie. This joke was mid. I'm not gonna lie. The joke was mid. All right. Oh, y'all thought I was done. Let's end this properly. I hate to make this a somber tone, y'all. I really hate to make the end of the show so somber, man. But this happened really recently, September 16th, by the way. And Pam. Oh man, this is crazy. This is from The Hill about Pam Bondi draws bipartisan criticism over hate speech remarks. Let me read quote. Hate speeches that cross the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime, Bondi said on the social platform X. Done reading. Mind you, this is not some random person. This is the AG, the top AG of the country saying this, by the way. Let me continue. For too far long, we've watched the radical left normalize threats, call for assassinations, and cheer on political violence. She continued, that era is over. And mind you, let me stop reading for a second. There are more far-right assassination attempts than the far left. But I'm going to have no time in the episode. We'll later date. Let me finish key bits here. Quote, Bondi clarified a comment on Kate Miller's podcast where she indicated that hate speech could be prosecuted under the law. By the way, if I had the clip, play the clip.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society.
The clarification came after she received criticism, including from some GOP lawmakers and political commentators over remarks she made on the podcast. Hosted by wife of White House advisor Stephen Miller about free expression. Oh, you know what? Just stop reading right there. What? She is wife of another clear supremacist type, allegedly had every dictator's book, and now in 2025 rushing the crib. Bruh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But let me read this too. Hopefully, if I didn't read it, let me finish reading this. Quote, there's free speech and then there's hate speech. There's no place, especially now after what happened to Charlie in our society, Bondi said in episode released on Monday. And when asked on Tuesday at the Capitol about Bondi's comments where the line is free speech, and mind you, let me just paraphrase this. The Speaker of the House said something about it as well. Johnson said he would approach the issue as a former litigator who has defended free speech in the courts along with criticism. Some of the conservative influencers and commentators have called Bondi to resign. The AG has previously faced blowback over Justice Department handling of the Jeffrey Epstein documents. That is not government censoring speech. That's personal behavior and decorum. You have the right to enforce that. Johnson said on Tuesday. So I don't think it's a violation of core principles for people to have appropriate measures taken when they act like crazy people online. Done reading. They are beefing, Chad. They beefing like a yoga mat. Chad. Let me go get my mocha latte. Why y'all beefing, Chad? Like it's next day beef. Like it's Amazon shipping. Who is getting cooked next? Who is getting cooked next, y'all? Who is getting cooked next, y'all? Let's get to the real serious business. Now, I'm a person that likes free speech, but I don't like how MAGA does this free speech for us. And on top of that, what Pam Bondi said, yeah, she should probably step down for this. In fact, I would feel happy if Pam Bondi got replaced. I'm gonna be honest. See how that goes. Yeah, but back to what I said. Not for you as in being suspected on the left, because I'm not even just talking about people on the left at this point. Because I'm not on the left. I told you I'm not on the left or the right. I'm neither. I don't like none of y'all, respectfully. So imagine you're suspected on the left or the right, and they do this to you. Or realistically, right now, this current climate, you're suspected on the left, and they want to drag you for this, and they want to cancel you off of that, basically, right? Does that feel democratic? No. Does that feel democratic? No. It feels like something out of China or Russia or South Sudan, Burkina Faso, I guess, any regime country, because don't you hate it when they play around with it? When they play around with it with these norms, like this is the new law. This is the new law. Because they are villains trying to be heroes. Again, they are villains trying to be heroes. And you could say from the woke left, but the other side is out of the picture, or it's like a hero that can't fight anymore, but is still trying to. So when you play with it, it's like your BM when you with your side chick, and the government is this crazy now. But I really hate to end this show, y'all, with this dark and somber tone. And yes, it was about the unaliving that happened on September 10th. And we will talk about that hopefully in a special episode. Hopefully, y'all. Because this is a lot. This is a lot. Y'all, this episode was a lot to unpack, y'all. Some of these parts may not feel recent, but that's it for the show. Follow me on the show in the socials. Rate the show, of course. Follow the show wherever you listen. And also have the stuff that I mentioned this episode in the notes as well. This is the Late Reefer with me, Syant from Synra. Good night, good evening, y'all.